much all my shit got tossed out. Like, I'm a dog. It's happened before. It's not the first time. The first time I was actually like on a psychiatric hold, and he had already had somebody like living with him that found on the internet that's like an escort. We don't know who she is. And just sucks. I literally have held my tongue for way too long to protect him. It's not happening anymore. You guys have known like since day one, I can't fake the funk. Apparently everybody on here will. And he's very good at it. But no, he does not follow any rules that he gives you guys. And it's to the point where it's disgusting. He will leave you in the gutter. And I hope he's extremely happy, like he moves on like nothing, because he is completely codependent. He needs someone to be attached to him 24/7. So I hope that you and Rebecca are very happy, and I'm done. I'm done. I've given this my all. He's physically hurt me so many times that it's unforgivable.
Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some snack habits. Bye, up, bye, up. Let's get to this intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support. Wow, well, right? Wes Watson with his history of violence and assaultive behavior towards women and everyone else for that matter, right? What you just heard was an excerpt, a clip of a video that I did over 2.5 years ago when I first put it out there that Wes Watson has an assaultive behavior pattern towards women. That was his ex-wife explaining the situation that was ongoing at that particular time with Wes Watson and how he physically abused her and assaulted her. Now, I know a lot of people, when I dropped that video, made a lot of comments. They were saying she was a woman scorned. She was just in it for the money. She was lying. Look, the fact remains she's a woman. And anytime a man physically assaults a woman or puts hands on her, yes, she's going to clap back. She's going to feel some type of way. And maybe her only defense was to go to the internet, go to social media and explain just who this individual was. But by that time, minds were clouded. People already thought they knew exactly who Wes Watson was. And he was able to diabolically manipulate people into believing that she was just money hungry and that she was a pain in his ass. And he did what he had to do to get rid of her. Look, it's her story and we let her tell it. Now, with this new case that Wes Watson has against his current girlfriend, kind of makes you think, kind of gets you in the boo-boo, makes you wonder, is this not the first time? Well, let me express something to you guys. Let me give you some knowledge that you can't get in college. A woman beater is always going to be a woman beater. That's just what they do. A lot of them is because they got a teeny weeny situation going on and they feel like, you know, they have to prove their manhood. And who's the easiest victim? It's usually women, old people, or children, or family members. People they know they could take their aggression and their abusive patterns of behavior out on, and they can't do a damn thing to them. But when Wes Watson is around grown men, you notice he always has that look in the eye. No, it's not the eye of the tiger. It's the eye of fear, the eye of wonder. He's wondering if he's going to get his ass kicked and he's going to get exposed for just the man he is. Wes Watson's in a lot of trouble. Okay, he was in trouble with that gym assault case. He got in trouble when he got sentenced to 10 years for a robbery assault in the past. And now he has a robbery by snatching. And for those of you that don't know what they mean by snatching, that means he snatched someone out of someone's hand without using weapons. And we already know he boasted, he bragged, he clout chased to the internet when he bought his girlfriend, or he rented his girlfriend, a 15-karat diamond ring. Okay, didn't buy it outright, but rented it, meaning he was paying it in payments. Can't blame him for that. That's almost $1 million ring, pretty expensive. And if it was real, like allegedly it is real, I could understand that. So he obviously and allegedly snatched it off her finger without asking her permission. Once you give property to someone, even if it's an engagement ring, whatever it is, once you give it to that person, it is now becoming their property. It is on them. It is on their person. So him snatching it gets him in a lot of trouble. That is definitely a robbery by snatching. Also, the domestic behavior, the assaults, all that got Wes Watson sitting in a Broward County jail in Florida right now, wondering what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next is pain, right? Clubber Lang style. Wes Watson's in trouble. See, he's made a lot of enemies. He's talked about a lot of things. And I'm not going to even lie to you. I'm going to give it to you guys real. As a content creator, a prison genre content creator, which Wes Watson definitely was. He was a prison content creator turned fucking physical fitness guru, right? A lot of the things he said, a lot of the lies he told made his car, the Woods brother, look bad. He disrespected them in all forms and fashion, right? And by doing that, I definitely believe there's a lot of questions to be answered when incarcerated. As a content creator in the prison genre, the last thing we want is to be locked up, to be incarcerated, because we know that people and stories that we've told have affected individuals in there and they feel some type of way about it. That's just real. I'm keeping it real, right? I myself, others in the prison genre definitely don't want to go back to prison, not because we're scared and we're in fear, but because we understand that some people just don't agree with putting out their prison content. It's the truth. So Wes Watson definitely has to worry about that. But he's not in California anymore, Toto. He's not in the land of disrespect where he has disrespected so many. He is now in Florida, and it is a different story down there. He has made racial derogatory statements towards black people. He has talked bad about the Caucasian people, brother, right? And there's actually a group out there called the Unforgiven that is unforgiving when it comes to Wes Watson. There's a lot of speculation and people that are saying once Wes Watson is incarcerated in the Florida Department of Corrections, he has a whole lot coming. So he needs to be worried and definitely concerned with what's going on. I can tell you right now, just my thoughts on it, I could see in the future a video being put out of Wes Watson in a very compromising situation in prison. You know, that alpha male shit doesn't fly. There's a whole bunch of alpha males in prison that would love to turn him into a beta. And that's just the truth and the facts. But let's get to the history of Wes Watson and his abusive behavior towards women. Why does he continue to do this? Why does he think he's above the law? And it's because that's all he's been given and seen. He took a deal on his first case when he did the robbery, assault, home invasion, or whatever it was in California that got him the 10 years. He got out because of good behavior, not because he was in there putting hands on people and beating up all his cellies like he alleges, right? He got out in less time. Now, I come from an era and I come from a people that don't do less time. You do your time and you're lucky if you get out a couple days earlier. And that's only because they put you, as you doing further into your time, you might do some programs that might help you to get a fucking time cut of a month or two, right? But most people that are actually putting in work or that are actually in the mix, they know they ain't got that coming. They're reserved and resolved to doing all day if they have to. That's period. See, Wes puts out an image and a persona, man, that he was in there beating people up, controlling yards. And that's what alerted me to him in the first place, with his stories being fucking falsifications of other people's stories, because I know some of the guys that he talked about in his stories, and I knew they would not let some guy just come in who's really unaffiliated and just a wood and come in there and control and punk the yard just because of his size. It doesn't work that way. Size does not matter. This is all that matters. Glecha, education, and that goes to all different ethnicity groups in prison, north, south, woods, others, natives, blacks, everybody, man. Usually the guy who runs things is someone, yes, obviously that put in work and has showed his grit and his grind, but also someone who has this, who could think, who could speak for his people, who could lead. Wes Watson definitely isn't a leader. Everything that he leads people into is bullshit. Obviously, you understand that by realizing, man, people like Big Boy from Strength Cartel, people like fucking Puggy Watson, all these different guys do not hang around with Wes anymore because they realized he was leading them into fucking their demise, and they fucking detached themselves away from a sinking ship. The Titanic has went down. And now the Titanic, Wes, is in the county jail with all these charges compiled on top of still going to court for the assault on that black man. I'm going to tell you guys right now, it does not look good for Wes. I could see him possibly out of this situation picking up 12 to 15 years. And that's it. That's a fact. You know, they're going to utilize this assault. And I definitely, if he takes it to trial, which he'd be an idiot if he did, because from what I'm hearing, they got actual footage. They got actual DMs, actual text messages that paint him in a bad light. Now, look, a lot of people are saying, well, they ain't said, she ain't shown nothing. Of course she hasn't shown nothing, but I'm sure she has forwarded to the police officers and they are doing their proper investigation. And in trial, if it goes that route, everything will be put out there. I'll say this, when a woman has all the materials that this woman is alleging to have, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble, especially when your past speaks volumes on the character of who you are. You know, Wes Watson, like I said yesterday in my video, actually had action at that assault case on that brother because they were not using his California record. So it was basically a one and done thing, man. Because that guy came to the gym, Wes Watson did have action, but now he has zero action. If this is on video, if that woman can prove and show the assaultive behavior, if Wes Watson was caught in possession of that ring that he bought her, that he known and showed on Instagram, putting on her finger, it could be all bad, right? It could be very bad. I think the same Wes Watson as we know him is done. We know he was crashing out. I'm sure he has many, many different things in his system, more than Ryan Garcia, right? This dude is inebriated at all times and very boastful and braggadocio when it comes to his lifestyle. He wants everyone to know he's that man, and he's seeking approval, he's seeking respect, but he's doing it in all the wrong reasons. Slapping people on the face and showing off isn't the way that you get approval from the people. The way you get approval from the people is being just like them, going out into the crowd and rocking just like them. Case in point, a lot of people are like, hey, Gun, I'm your fan, man. I'm a fan of your channel. And I say, I don't have fans. I have supporters. I have people that rock with me, people that like what I put out, but I never have a fan because I'm not bigger or better than anyone else. In fact, I might not be even better than you, right? But at the end of the day, I'm a content creator that's going to continue to put out the best content and material that I can. And hopefully, man, you know, people enjoy it. That's the difference and separates people from me and Wes Watson. I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to be boastful. I'm being very humble and I'm showing a lot of humility. Wes Watson is not doing that. He is the perfect example of a man that is willing to do anything that he can to maintain an image, even going as far as hurting women. See, a lot of these women that he has are escorts or they're trophy women. They are a possession to Wes Watson. They are a woman that he could show off. And he said in his own words on tape, you know, I bought you those tits. I will cut them off. You know, he wants everyone to know that he bought them for her, that she couldn't maintain or get them on her own, that she's only in possession of a body part because he paid for it. No, I got a lot of homeboys that have paid for their women to get certain parts because of their self-image and because they felt some type of way. And the homies were like, hey, you know what? Hey, let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's hook her up for her own self-image. And so that way she feels better about herself. And also at the same time, I get to play with those, right? So the winners are both of them. But I've never seen a homeboy run around like, oh, she only got that because of me. She only got that because of me. It's kind of like, hey, that's all me. She's down with me, right? That's what I've heard. Wes Watson is in serious trouble. And again, that clip that I played, which I'll be playing again here momentarily, is his ex-wife speaking on just exactly how Wes Watson has done her. Now, don't be surprised if Wes Watson does take this all the way to trial, that she's not called as a character witness, because she has went through this and she has expressed that this man did cause physical harm to her, did throw her things onto the street, treated her like an animal. How can you do this to a woman that you express love to? Wasn't it just 2-3 weeks ago Wes Watson was giving this young lady, this new girlfriend, a ring? Wasn't he just expressing his love by getting her a 15-karat diamond ring, a woman's dream, right? And not only 2 weeks later, he's locked up. And obviously they got enough evidence to incarcerate him. Something went on there, right? But he is locked up based upon assaulting her. How much was, hey, after the love is gone, right? Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, definitely no love there. Like I said, treating her like a possession, to mention her family and doing physically and horrible harm to her family. That's basically menacing and harassment, trying to psych her out and trying to manipulate her into staying with him. People already told him that she's an escort. She's one of the biggest bops in Florida. No disrespect to that woman, and I'm not trying to disrespect that woman, but the facts are the facts, right? This is what people in his circle told him. And what did he continue to do? to bask in the ambience of the possession and to wear her on his arm. And when she went out the first time and went and did her thing and went to a Miami Heat game, he blew up. Thousands of text messages, assaultive, alleged, threats. We'll see what happens with Wes. I think he's in trouble, and I think the Wes Watson that we know is no longer there. They can call his wife. They could also call Angie, his ex-girlfriend, which she showed receipts, facts, thousands of DMs. Wes Watson back to back to back, begging, hating, begging. I mean, he has a woman problem and he definitely has a money problem. The problem is she tries to spend money on these women, and then when they expect more and he doesn't want to give them anymore, he tends to cut them off with a left fist. It's crazy. If this woman truly does have the evidence and the receipts she claims to have that was put out there by one of the greatest content creators when it comes to exposing Wes Watson, Daddy Wells, man, it's going to be it's going to be over for Wes, because not only is he still facing time for that other case, now he's got this case, and all these cases are going to tie in together, and he's going to be X'd out. And that's just real, man. So what's he facing? A lot of time. I think he's lucky that they dropped the kidnapping charge. I think he's charged with 5 different charges. The kidnapping would have carried almost a life sentence. So thank God he didn't get that for him, I guess, if that's what you want to say. I don't condone women beaters. I don't back them up. I'm not making excuses for Wes Watson. If he did what he did, he needs to sit down for a long time. And if he didn't, the proof will be in the pudding. But obviously, man, he does have a history of violence towards people, and especially women. We're going to get into this excerpt one more time. I want you guys to hear what Wes Watson's ex-wife had to say. And, I feel so bad for her because a lot of people were going in on her. They were saying she was a woman scorned, that she was lying. She was trying to extort Wes for money. That kind of changes now, huh? Kind of changes now.
All my shit got tossed out like I'm a dog. It's happened before. It's not the first time. The first time I was actually on a psychiatric hold, and he had already had somebody living with him that found on the internet that's an escort. We don't know who she is. And just sucks. I literally have held my tongue for way too long to protect him. It's not happening anymore. You guys have known since day one, I can't fake the funk. Apparently everybody on here will. And he's very good at it. But no, he does not follow any rules that he gives you guys. And it's to the point where it's disgusting. He will leave you in the gutter. And I hope he's extremely happy, he moves on like nothing, because he is completely codependent. He needs someone to be attached to him 24/7. So I hope that you and Rebecca are very happy, and I'm done. I'm done. I've given this my all. He's physically hurt me so many times that it's unforgivable.
Now, if you listen close to that excerpt, a couple of the things she said ring true. He's codependent. He always has to have people around him, especially a woman. He went from her to another woman, and they all seem to have something linking them, being escorts, or there's certain type of women that he chooses, right? Nothing against those type of women, but I'm saying this is what Wes Watson chooses to indulge in because it's the easiest to manipulate and get into, and he utilizes money to get them. And then he always goes from relationship to relationship. He was with Angie. A week later, he's with this new girl. Well, now he's going to be with the brother in his cell somewhere. And no disrespect to the brothers, because the brothers come in all shapes, forms, colors, and sizes. Ooh-wee. With that being said, there you guys go, man. The history of Wes Watson when it comes to women is not looking good for the new case that he's going to have. People are asking, will he make bail? I don't even know if bail is going to be set in this situation. Based on the fact, man, of course, she's probably going to file a restraining order, stay away from Wes. We'll see, man, where money gets him. All I can say is it's not looking good for Wes Watson whatsoever at all. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. This video is sponsored by Vario Liquors in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the area, pull up and go get you something cold to drink. Also by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona. We need to support our small local raza businesses. Make sure that you guys hit them up. Google Sticks and Stones Yard Service. and have them pull up and take care of you. This is the gun. Facts are facts. Bang, bang. Pobrecito Wes.